Hello awesome people, what is going on? It's BradPhusion here and welcome to a channel update, which I feel I am long overdue for one, and today's video is going to be talking about a few positive things. Actually, a lot of these things are quite positive, and I think I'm, again, long overdue for one, so let's jump right into it, shall we, with the first topic of Project Atmos. Now, I will be doing future videos on Project Atmos, going into more depth, but I just wanted to quickly bring it to people's attention early on, and how you guys can help if you want, which would be absolutely amazing. I have also been streaming the creation of Project Atmos, so if you'd like to see it being built in real time, or have any questions, feel free to jump into one of my streams and ask away, or ask in the comment section down below. I'll talk more about the streaming towards the end of today's video, however. But first things first, let's start with what is Project Atmos. To summarize, Project Atmos is a dynamic role-playing space engineers survival server. It has also been given the nickname of SERA, which basically stands for Space Engineers Role-Playing Atmosphere. When Atmos launches, people will create their own characters applying for one of the few starting factions, such as a mining one, a bounty hunting one, and so on. Again, I'll go into more depth about the factions in the next week or so, but I think you guys will like this. Now, players aren't going to be locked into a faction. Once they've spent enough time on the server to save up enough money and they have their own place or facility, they are more than welcome to leave, start their own business, or be a freelancer. It's really up to you, and yes, there are pirates in this world. Project Atmos is application only, meaning that if you want to play, you'll need to create a character beforehand. I'm already working on an application system, so there's really nothing for you guys to worry about other than your character's details, so get preparing. This application system is in place to hopefully weed out the trolls, amongst other people who might not take role-playing too seriously. I personally enjoy roleplay, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time on this and in this myself after it launches. Now, some of you are probably wondering, how can you help with this project? Project Atmos is going to be a big undertaking initially, as all the factions are going to have predetermined space and sectors allocated to them. This means themed buildings and ships for each faction. Again, I'll be doing a more depthy video speaking about each faction and their own lore, which they have in the future. But for now, I will mention the categories these factions fall under. At the launch of Project Atmos, we will have a mining faction, of course, a trading faction, a private military company, an exploration faction, a peacekeeper/police faction, and of course, pirates. But that all said and done, that is it for Project Atmos for now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little bit of a teaser, and hopefully this got at least some of you guys excited for this potential awesome project of mine, which will probably launch in about a month or so, but I don't really want to give it any set date just yet, as it will take a little bit of time to prepare. Let's move on to the next main topic, which is Space Engineers Survival. Now, I knew I'd eventually have to give you guys an update on this, and I figured this is the best time to do it. Space Engineers Ascension Survival will be returning shortly. As we all knew, sadly, my main survival series had stopped. There were a few main reasons behind this, and whilst I had considered starting a new survival, I didn't really want to leave the old world without a conclusion. Now, luckily for me, I seem to have fixed all the issues I've had with the world, and should be resuming shortly. But god, was it a rollercoaster ride just getting this thing to work again. We went from having an unplayable frame rate to having our character stuck in T-pose as well as our main ship explode. It was a hilariously frustrating experience, which I'm glad to have over and done with now. Now, whilst we're on the topic of space engineers, I want to briefly talk about Fusion Industries and how Project Atmos has affected it. Whilst Atmos has drawn a lot of my attention towards building structures in preparation, I am still and will still be creating ships for Fusion Industries, and I'll even do a few videos on these structures from Project Atmos. Currently I'm working on a vanilla ship, which I don't do vanilla too often. It's a challenge in itself and I'm really enjoying it. I'll also be able to show off one of the first buildings from Project Atmos, which I'm really excited to show off soon. To end today's update video, I'm going to talk briefly about streaming, as I'd mentioned it early in this video. Over the past few weeks, I've been streaming a lot, and in just the last week itself, I pretty much streamed every day. And this is because I wanted to have a week to myself where I just streamed, and I have to admit, it was amazing. The support I'd received from you guys has been awesome, and for those of you who had just joined my streams, even if it was just a one-time thing, I thank you. In the future, I will try varying my times to best suit those from all around the world. Now, I've also been streaming Space Engineers and Project Atmos frequently, as I mentioned earlier in this video, so if you are interested in watching me build in real time to some awesome music, you can do so. You can even request your own music, which I think is pretty awesome, so come on over and have some fun. I also stream with a few other YouTubers, which I'd like to give a quick shout out to, since the video is coming to its conclusion. First off, we have Wasted Space, who is an awesome YouTuber, space engineer, and is returning to streaming, which I highly recommend you go check out. Next we have Morphologis, who is currently studying in Japan for 2 months, but when he returns, he'll be back in full force, so keep an eye out for that. He also is getting started into streaming. Now, I will have links down below for you guys to go visit their channels and streams, as well as a link to my stream, which I'd be extremely grateful if you drop by and even consider following me, by that little blue heart, which will let you guys know that I'm streaming. Anyway, that is it for today's update video. Stay tuned for some more news on Project Atmos, future survival episodes, Fusion Industries creations, and more awesome streams. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Stay awesome everyone, and thank you for watching.